Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Twitch TV Lounge. I'm Richard Lewis, and I'm going to be hosting a series of interviews here over the course of the day with esports personalities and streaming types. This is the first interview of the day, and we've got somebody from the mighty game of Hearthstone. It is Radu from MYM. How are you doing today? You all right?
Really good. Even though I lost in the tournament, I'm here to support my teammate, and I hope he'll end up winning the tournament, even though it's really hard because of the 8-man groups where only 2 advance. People are like really high skilled, and you are not ensured that you'll qualify from your group.
Yeah, so, well, you had a beast of a group. It was a very difficult group. There's some great players in there.
Yeah, I think it was the hardest, considered by people, by fans, the hardest group. And it was like really bad for the people because all the good players, like all the people here are good, but our group was really stacked and only 2 advanced, so people had to lose. Like I played versus the best players in the world. I won some, I lost some. It happens. It's Hearthstone. It's a card game. You don't always win at the tournaments.
But I mean, you won DreamHack Summer, and you've been like the #1 seed for like, I don't know, like it seems to be forever. Like you just, everyone talks about you. I thought, you'd be coming here and certainly getting out of the groups. I mean, it seems a bit of a shame, really.
Well, this is Hearthstone. Like you do not always win. It's still a card game. Like in Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh, people like that are in top 10, you ask them how many achievements do you have, and they say, oh, I won the tournament a while ago, and you're like, oh my god, that's really huge. It's one tournament in a card game. It's really important to win 1 or 2. I don't like 5 or 6 or even more tournaments. I have like top 4, top 8, but you don't always make it out of the groups. It can happen, a bad set of draws. That's why in my opinion Hearthstone should be played like Swiss or league format, but that's not interesting for the viewers, unfortunately.
Yeah, true. So it's about consistency. You think that's what makes a great Hearthstone player? Yeah,
consistency, practice, having good decks. Like here I prepared a lot, like hours every day. I came with the best decks, but so did other people. And even though, let's say I had like a little bit more advantage, like 5%, that doesn't matter when only 2 out of 8 qualify. That 5% can help you in some of the games, but it can also not matter in the others. And if you just lose twice, because it's double elimination, it can just end your tournament. But this is not important. Like that 5% over more tournaments, if you keep practicing and practicing, that 5% will actually end up mattering a lot and will end up in you winning a tournament.
So what decks and stuff are you running at the moment? I mean, like I try and keep up with what's popular. It seems that we're still in a very aggro-driven phase at the moment in Hearthstone, which, that means very little to me. I only play casually, but, what kind of things have you been picking up and using in tournaments?
That's the biggest problem of Hearthstone nowadays, and I hope they will fix it with a new patch that is coming out in December. Like Blizzard really did a good job releasing it so fast. The problem is that there are 2 overpowered classes. It's Warlock and Hunter. Hunter being considered the best, but also has some counters. But the problem is that the counters do not win 100%. It's not granted that you win if you play a counter. Like the people at this tournament, the best way to counter Hunter is to play Hunter yourself. And you have a ban, you can restrict one class, you can veto one class, I know how to say it. But people choose to restrict Warlock for the following reason. Warlock can be played in 2 different ways. Really aggro-ish. Named Zoo. You just play all the monsters, 2 spells, double soulfire, maybe some powerful whammies, but that's like, It's a really consistent deck and it's really aggro-ish. Or you play Handlock, which is like really control-ish, the opposite of Zoo. You don't know what type of deck your opponent is playing. Like even if you study him, like there are people that played Handlock all their career and changed to Zoo for one tournament. There are people that played Zoo all the career. I like to mix them up. But it gets banned most of the time because people are afraid. You cannot build your decks in such a manner that you cover both types of Warlock efficiently. So you just ban Warlock and try to beat Hunter. Well, even if you go like to beat Hunter, you can still lose the Hunter versus Hunter and then you're like out of the tournament. For me, I was out because I won Hunter versus Hunter and then I lost Hunter versus a counter. Like he had the right set of draws to win that matchup. I'm not sad, but it happens like in this type of format. People are really close in skill and you only 2 out of 8 go through, so somebody had to lose. We are like really the best players in the world in our group, especially. Even if other groups were like really stacked. Like I think in most of the groups that here at DreamHack there are like 6 really good players, 1 player that is like and 1 player that is like In my group all the players are like really good. And some of them were underrated good, which ended up winning, like Faramir. But this tournament is like has the all stacked players 8-man groups to advance. It's really hard to get out of the groups. So when I saw my group, I was like, okay, I'll bring the best decks, I'll practice, I'll see whatever happens. I ended up losing, no problem, I will win the next tournament. This is the mindset. Like, if you do this for every tournament, you'll end up winning some of them, and it's important.
But everything's about to change in Hearthstone, isn't it? We've got a big expansion coming out, and new cards, new strategies. What are your thoughts about this? Are you worried that it's going to kind of reset everything, or are you looking forward to a change?
I am happy. Like, when they reset it the first time, there was a tournament like next day. It was Deck Wars 2 called, made by Machinima, I think. And I won that tournament. I played the class that right now, if you tell people that you play that class, they will be like, oh my god, that's the worst class in the game, like Paladin.
Right, yeah.
I won it like almost single-handedly with Paladin. I had a really good tech combo with a card named Kel'Thuzad, the legendary. When I won the tournament, people called that card really OP and called me lucky for getting that card. After that tournament, nobody played Paladin, nobody played Kel'Thuzad ever again. So I think that I won because I played that card, not because I got lucky.
Yeah.
I had a right mind to make a deck around that card when it was good, when nobody expected it. After 1 or 2 weeks, people know how to play around that, and it was considered a really bad card. But I knew how to abuse that card when nobody knew it. So I hope I will do the same when the new set comes out. But for that, I need to be invited to stuff. If I'm not invited, I will try to qualify. I did that before. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not against it.
But I mean, I think that's interesting. One of the things I like about card games in general, not just Hearthstone, all of the Magic the Gathering, all of that stuff, is the ability that when new cards come out and you've got lots of cards, you can innovate. You can come up with one strategy, like you say, abuse one mechanic, and you almost teach everyone else competitively how to counter it because you're the first person, you're the pioneer. But that doesn't seem to happen a lot now. Players in Hearthstone aren't really innovating new things, and it's like you say, you see the same 2-3 decks over and over and over again. Do you think these new cards will encourage players to innovate?
Yeah, it obviously encourages people to innovate and to come up with new strategies. But at the same time, like, when somebody finds a new strategy, there's two ways to approach it. You either keep it for yourself and eventually your team in a closed, restricted cycle. Test it, try to make it perfect, go into a tournament, have like 20% more chances than the other guys to win the tournament, which usually ends up in you winning the tournament because of statistics.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I discovered something like this and I kept it for me and my team, I ended up winning the tournament because for DreamHack I didn't find anything like that. The meta is like discovered at the moment. Yeah. There's not that many things that you can discover with this number of cards. I did at the start of the patch, but now I cannot, I had to just go for the 50-50 mirror matches. I just try to improve my decks. But okay, so the other way, you just go and stream the strategy, and you get like a lot of viewers on Twitch. It really matters, and you might even get to be invited to tournaments. Like, if you're like an unknown guy, you just go on Twitch, stream the strategy. People like it, you get more and more viewers. You get like number 1 on the server. Maybe some tournament organizers watches that stream and invite you to a tournament. Even though your strategy is going to be used by everybody, you will play better than the others because you know how it works better than the others. If others copy it, it's okay because they will usually name the strategy after you, like RDUs, whatever. Yeah. And it really helps you improve yourself and be known in the scene, which is the most important thing in my opinion.
Well, I mean, you've been a streamer, and you've gained quite a lot of fans, momentum. People know a lot more about you now, through streaming. So, how's that been for you? I mean, how do you approach the streaming mindset? How do you make yourself kind of be more of a personality on things like Twitch?
I like it because it was not easy for me to get fans, but if you win and win and win and really discuss your plays, that's what I do on the stream. I try to be like an educational streamer. Yeah. There are 2 types of streamers, like either fun streamers that just have fun on the stream and chill with their viewers and the subscribers, play with them, stuff like that. I just like to teach them something. Like, you don't come here to you can have fun, but I try to explain the mindset between every play I make. Like, every decision, I try to explain it like in detail. I do this because of that, because he can have that, or he might have that. Now I do this because he didn't do that last turn and stuff like that, which is really complicated for a new player. And if he understands that, it's really good for him, and he will develop his mindset and his play, maybe because of me, and that might help him in the future.
I think it's interesting when it comes to streaming, because you have a lot of people that I know they've got big personalities and big followings, but they're not actually the best at the game. And then you'll find people who are the best at the game and no one watches them. They're better than the people who are popular. That happens in all games on Twitch. Is that anything you've ever given much thought about yourself? Because you've got to balance being a personality with being good enough in tournaments.
Yeah. Well, when I used to have like 5 or 10K viewers, my performance in tournaments wasn't that good because I didn't have the time to prepare.
Yeah.
I had to think of the stream more. And at the same time, people watching my stream learned a lot about my mindset, about my play style, and they could use that to have more percentages, like 5 or 10 percentages in some specific matchups, which helped them win more against me in tournaments. There was a guy at the World Championships that said in an interview that you can just have a big advantage against a streamer just by watching his stream for like 1 hour.
Yeah.
You can see how he thinks, and that can really help you. But on stream, I don't show the best strategies always. I have some days where I don't play in tournaments for like 1 month, where I just play the best things to really show people how good I am.
Yeah.
And make them come into my mind and see how I think, how a pro player thinks. This is really important.
So I want to ask, this has been a topic of discussion that's come up in other games like League of Legends, where streaming makes you more money than being a pro player. I don't know if Hearthstone's quite there yet, but do you think it could be a problem in the future where, people will make a choice? You can be a pro player and go to tournaments, or like you say, you can concentrate on just streaming, being a personality, being an entertainer, and make your money that way without even needing to come to an event like DreamHack.
Well, personally, I like both. I like even, in Hearthstone, there are many people that play tournaments and also stream at the same time. I know it's hard, but it's achievable. And it didn't come to that point. There are some people that make more from streaming than from tournaments, but at the same time, there are a lot of people that just win a lot of tournaments. Like, I play Hearthstone mostly for fun, not to make money. I really like to be known, and I really enjoy the game because it develops your mind. You think a lot about things, and I really love TCGs.
Yeah.
I love TCGs. It's a new level in your mind you have to think over, and it expands your mindset. It's really important for me at this age. I'm really young myself. I'm just 17 years old, so it's really good.
So just a couple of questions. Well, you used the word expansion, so we'll come back to talking about the upcoming expansion. A few cards have been revealed, some of the new ones. I got to ask you, since you're a technical guy and you've just said you like to innovate, are there any cards that have stood out for you that have been revealed so far? Things that you think might be OP, or things that you think might be popular and incorporated into a new meta game?
There are some really interesting cards. Not all the good cards have been revealed. There have been there has been a really big problem and a really big issue on Reddit, for example. The community was really vocal that when they teased the set, they teased with 20 cards. From that 20, 15 were only luck cards, like Ragnaros. People don't like that because people want Hearthstone to be a skill game. But if you look into that cards, the cards that are really 100% luck and can change the game, they're really bad. Nobody will play that. Nobody will risk on that cards. It's not efficient. Like Ragnaros, people play that because it's OP. You have, even if it's random, whatever it hits, it deals 8 damage without taking damage back. That's insane. The other luck cards are really bad. You get any card from the game in your hand. Why would you want that? Yeah. It's nobody will play that. Excepting, you can play it for fun. Nobody will play it in tournaments. It will not affect tournament play, and it makes people that don't play in tournaments feel better. I don't know. It helps the new players have more fun, and at the same time, the veterans will not play that cards. There are some other cards that I want to touch on. For example, there are cards that can 50-50 miss. You just attack a random target. Good people and pro players can use that cards in their favor to make more lucky decks, but at the same time, luck can be translated into skill most of the time. You need to have a lot of skill to use that luck in your own way. This has been touched by Blizzard developers that said that you need a lot of skill to use the luck in your way, in your favor.
Are you not worried about maybe RNG could play a part in some cheese strategies, and maybe some of the lower players, which you described as meh earlier when you were talking about them in the groups, someone could bring some awful cheese decks, eventually a good player could perhaps lose to one of those in a tournament of this size. Is that a possibility, do you think?
Well, if that cheese deck runs a lot of RNG cards, it means that he will win less than 50% of the games. If he beats me with a 40% or 30% or 20% chance, I'm still okay because I lost with a favorable matchup. If we play again, the chances are that I will win it. So I'm not sad if I lose. I lost to a lot of Ragnaroses and it's okay for me. It's a 50-50. Even yesterday, in my winners bracket match, I had a 50-50 and then a 33% Ragnarosis, which if hit the right target, I would win the game, go into the winners finals and exit the group. But I lost the Ragnarosis. I went to losers bracket where I faced 2 people from Cloud9, which are really high rated and really good players.
Yeah, absolutely.
I beat one of them, Ekop, and then I lost to Colento. It can happen. I'm really sad that they didn't stream all the games, and this was a big issue. And there were some other factors, but it was still a really good tournament, and I look forward for the next tournament.
Well, let's talk about that. You said you're upset they didn't stream all the games. So what happened? Talk us through it.
They decided to stream only 1 out of 8 games.
Oh, wow, that's sad. But I mean, I guess it's not so sad. I mean, it would have been sadder if you'd won. That would have been worse.
Well, I got on stream. My game on stream was the first one, and I won.
Oh, well, there you go.
Versus Forsen, which is arguably the most popular Twitch streamer of Hearthstone, and I know I really had a big advantage over him because I studied his stream, and he even played some DreamHack decks on stream. Like, he didn't care that much about the tournament, but yeah.
Well, look, it's been great to talk to you. I don't get to interview a lot of Hearthstone players, so it's always nice to talk to one, especially someone who's very talkative. I'm always dreading the moment where I have to do all the work because I don't know enough about the game. So thank you very much for helping me out. If people want to follow your stream and things like that, where will it be?
Radu underline, I don't know how to say it. __ HS. That's my Twitch channel. You can watch me there. I usually stream when I come back from school. I have like school from early in the morning European time, like from 6:30 or 7:30 Central European Standard Time, and it lasts for like 5 hours. And when I come back from school, I just stream for like 4 hours.
Awesome.
But not when I have tournaments. And you can come there, learn more about Hearthstone, have a fun time. If you want to learn, it's like the best stream, I think. I try to be modest, but I will give a lot of my insight on the game if you watch my stream. So make sure to follow me, and yeah.
Well, look, thanks a lot for doing the interview. It's great.
Thank you a lot for inviting me here.
No worries, and enjoy the rest of the event.
Yeah.
And there we go. That fine, upstanding young man is Radu of Hearthstone from MYM. You can follow him. Please do. There you go. He's getting it all in. And we're going to take a quick break, but don't go too far. We are going to have interviews over the course of the day here in the Twitch TV lounge at DreamHack Winter.